Hello, I'm Vlad from ReikiScoop and welcome to today's video. We're going to talk a little bit about Reiki distance healing. What is it? Why do you need it? And how to properly practice it. First, just consider subscribing, giving a thumbs up to this video so that other Reiki enthusiasts can find this type of video and content. And it also helps my channel grow and offer you even better and better content. So, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Reiki distance healing. What is it? Well, to put it short, distance healing is actually quite a complex term. Reiki uses universal life force energy channels, helps you channel universal life force energy for healing or allowing you to enhance the possibility of manifesting something in your life, manifesting a goal, or even helping others, whether they are face-to-face or whether they are in distance. And here enters the idea of Reiki distance healing. This idea of helping others via distance is not original to Reiki necessarily. It's an idea that it's a centenary idea, the same as the channeling the universal life force energy is a millenary concept. So the only thing is that Reiki approaches these ideas, these elements in a more systematized way, as I mentioned in other videos as well. So, Reiki distance healing basically means transferring energy and information of a certain level by bypassing time and space. That's because when you are using and channeling universal life force energy, there is really no time and space. It's just the now, the present, that you're doing something. And that is channeling universal energy for something, for you, for your future, for your past, for a goal, We'll get into that a little bit later. So, coming back to the idea at hand. Distance healing implies transfer of energy, and maybe information for something, someone, for a certain approach, at the same time bypassing time and space, because those things do not exist within the astral realm. They don't exist, at least the way we have them in the physical world. So when you send Reiki distance healing, you are allowing this energy to flow in a certain direction. You are guiding it towards a certain direction. And this is you're not only surrendering to the idea of Reiki and allowing to the universal life force energy to flow, but you're actually guiding it towards a purpose. So that's what this Reiki distance healing basically is. Now, what do you use it for, and why is it important? Because it's important because you can use it for improving certain elements in your life and in the lives of others. You can use it you can use universal life force energy for sending it into the future, for removing obstacles, for enhancing the possibility of manifesting goals. You can use it for healing past traumas from this life and previous lives, because unaddressed trauma, the energy and information behind unaddressed trauma will remain within your energy fields and will eventually affect your physical body. And even at the deeper the trauma, the more deeper it affects your body, even at a cellular level. So Reiki distance healing helps remove the negative energy and information, and Reiki in general does that, and allows the cellular level and the physical body to become healed, and the energetic body, in a sense that it removes the negative energy and information from the energy field so that you can be free from that trauma. This takes time. This does not happen overnight. But taking action and having at least a few sessions will make you feel different, will have a considerable effect than doing nothing, even if there are a few sessions. So, the importance of Reiki distance healing is spread throughout many reasons, so to speak. That's one thing. Sending for the future, sending for the past. You can help others. You can potentially improve the health of others. Maybe there's someone dear to you that requires healing at this moment. Or maybe they have an important event in their lives. You can use Reiki distance healing or Reiki distance energy sending, to be more precise, which is the same thing. It's just different name for the same approach. for removing any kind of anxiousness, stage fright for their goal, for their achievement, or can help them place their body in a state of healing in case there's something that they are confronting with at this moment in time. You can use distance healing when you perhaps you're going on vacation and traveling abroad and you want to keep your pet safe and you have to leave your pet with someone else, or you leave it at home and you're gone for a couple of days and you want your pet to be relaxed and have, well, as much as a good time as a pet can have when you're not at home and send universal energy towards them. You can use Reiki distance healing for yourself, for a certain goal, exam. If you have an exam, if you have an important event coming that's under the form of an exam, you can enhance the energy and information of that moment so that it can benefit you and have a bit more courage, have a bit more openness towards the knowledge that you have accumulated so that you don't have any kind of obstacle in the way of presenting what you need to present in that exam. Reiki distance healing can be used for a lot of things. There was a debate whether you can use Reiki distance healing for people who have passed. Well, you can, but that's not a method of communicating with them by all means. This is not something that I am entering as a subject, and it's not something I discuss usually in my videos because I'm not proficient in that kind of field. You can, however, use distance healing, Reiki distance healing, for sending energy to that spirit, because what's left of the person that passed is the spirit, and you can help them have a smoother transitions through the gates of consciousness and through the dimensions that they have to pass through. So Reiki distance healing has many uses, and it's important to learn it not only for enhancing your knowledge when it comes to Reiki, but understanding that you can use so much of this practice in so many directions, and it's so flexible, but also has a lot of elements that you need to take into consideration that helps you become a more complete practitioner and allows you to fulfill certain duties or tasks within your life in an easier manner. Reiki distance healing or Reiki energy distance sending can also be used for attuning people at distance. And I know this is another debate, and people like to have face-to-face encounters. And I was a big fan of this until I learned that it can actually be useful the same way at distance. The only difference is that with distance attunements, sometimes all that opening and energy and information that the student receives through the attunement can crystallize gradually, more in a few days or maybe a couple of weeks for some reason, compared to face-to-face when the effect is a little bit more direct, it's a bit more, let's say, I wouldn't call it efficient, but things go faster. I know I mentioned Reiki distance healing doesn't take into account time and space, but in my perspective and experience, it has to do with the openness from a subconscious level of the student. Because we live in the physical plane and we like to see the person face to face as you are watching me. You don't want to hear only a voice. You don't only want to read an article. You want to see the person. Even though the article, if you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. Even though an article can offer basically the same information, but it's nicer when someone presents it to you, isn't it? So it's the same element here in the attunements. Distance Reiki distance attunements work the same way as face-to-face. Yet, for some, that subconscious blockage is not really passed over without the face-to-face encounter, so they might be skeptical about that. But make no mistake, Reiki distance healing or Reiki distance energy sending works the same even if you are face-to-face or even if you are at distance. The only thing you need for distance healing or attunements, you need a name and a picture or a video call just to know who you're talking with, because you need to connect to that person, to that spirit. You need to have an image of that person so you can understand who is receiving, what is receiving, and who are they in the first place. So those are the most important elements, and that's why you should learn about distance healing, because you can achieve quite a lot of things through distance healing. If you have a crystal grid, let's say you have a layout of crystals that are meant to achieve certain goals, and you don't have time to just be at home and place your hands over the crystal grid all the time. You can send distance energy healing towards the crystal grid. If you have Reiki projects that you have created on the paper, and sometimes you forget them, you don't always carry them with you to send them universal energy, you can send them distance energy healing, distance energy sending. You can use this method for a myriad of purposes. So how to practice Reiki distance healing or Reiki distance energy sending by distance? There are so many ways of explaining how it's called, but the method is the same. That's what you need to know. And Reiki distance healing does use intention, it uses symbols, and it uses a gateway. Meaning that, bear with me just a moment, intention, symbols, and gateway are all interconnected elements. They are used within the same approach and same concept. The intention means obviously knowing for what or whom or the reason you are sending energy for. Let's say I'm just sending universal energy for an exam that's going to be in 2 weeks from now. I know the date, I know the hour, that's even better. And I want to have a more relaxed time for this exam. I want to remove stage fright as much as possible. And I want to remember all the things I have learned. And you do have to learn for that exam. Reiki won't help you get the information without even opening a book. So yeah, I hope that's pretty clear. So you can send universal energy for remembering the information easier, removing stage fright, having a more relaxed mood, relaxed time, and allowing the commission or whoever is there to check you out to be more, also relaxed and more open towards you. Of course, this is not a manipulation. This is just to create a more beneficial and more efficient environment. So you have the intention. Now you have to use the symbols. We activate our palms. Usually I use my non-dominant hand, starting with my dominant hand. I apologize, with my dominant hand, which is my right hand, and activating symbols on my non-dominant hand. And I start with chokurei, chokurei, chokurei. Then chokurei, chokurei, chokurei. I clap 3 times. The name and the clapping helps crystallize the energy and information of the symbol into the physical plane. Seheki, 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 seheki. And here comes the most complicated symbol of all. Honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. You don't need to know each line of honshaze shonen. You need to know its name, how it looks like, what is it used for, and when to use it. And this is the moment when we need to use it, and we know what it's used for distance healing. It's a accumulation, a kotodama, a Japanese Reiki kotodama, which means accumulation of spiritual concepts meant to serve a purpose. That's what Honshaze Shonen is, and that's what Reiki symbols are in general. So, you don't need to know each line, you just need to know what it's used for, when to use it, and the way it looks like and its name. The lines are the last thing that are important on this list. You have activated Reiki symbols on your palms. And now, you can activate if you want on the primary chakras, chokure and seheki. That's not mandatory. That depends on what you're doing. If you're sending to someone who has, has a physical ailment and needs some time for healing, I would place Reiki symbols on the chakras for a decent level of protection so that you can function well and be at least decently protected. Coming back, you have activated your palms. You have the intention. You have activated your palms, and now you have the third part, the gateway towards your intention, towards your goal. And we have the exam in 2 weeks from now. We have a date. We have a time. We know what's all about, the exam was going to be all about, right? So we activate the same symbols in front of us. I will activate it in front of me with the intention of connecting to that event in the future. So that's going to be chokurei, 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 seheki, seheki, seheki. Honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. You can also add daikomyo if you're level 3 Usui Reiki, zonar, halu, heart if you're Karuna practitioner as well. It only enhances the energy flow. But you need at least these 3 symbols. And the intention is to send universal energy bypassing time and space through that moment of the exam for my greater good on all levels. Usually we add this phrase for distance healing, for my greater good on all levels, so that it can, because we don't know the whole perspective, we just know we want to go and pass that exam, but perhaps my greater good would look a little bit different in perspective. Maybe failing that exam can lead to other opportunities that we have not thought about, because Reiki uses not only that the universal life force energy goes where it's needed the most, but it's also about perspective, the benefits of the beneficial elements that exist in perspective that we don't see and we don't know, because we're kind of tiny here on Earth, aren't we? We are a lot through the divine light and the universal life force energy, but truth to be told, we don't see things in perspective. So think of that. I think for my greater good on all levels, for that moment of the exam, to pass it as efficiently as possible for my greater good on all levels. And we send universal life force energy. For removing stage fright, for having a more relaxed time, for remembering all the information that's needed for me to pass the exam. For my greater good on all levels. So I'm sending universal energy 5, 10, 15 minutes. I'm just staying like that. You can place your palms like this, lower, as you wish. I usually like to do it like this, simple. And then send universal energy 5, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes if you have time. You can use this daily, on a daily basis. If it's for the future, or if it's for your present or future greater good, you can spend as much time as you want per session, as many sessions as you want. It really doesn't matter. It only enhances. You have a vacation that's coming up, the same procedure, the same method you use. Absolutely the same method. You just want to have a good time, relaxed time, enjoy the moment, and even absorb any spiritual lessons that might be useful for you on that trip. We can have this intention. That's a very wise intention, very good intention. And you send universal energy. I'm not going to stay 5-10 minutes right now. I'm just presenting you how it's done. At the end, when you finish, when you feel like it's enough energy sent, you can seal the process. You can use another chokure, you can use a cross, you can use daikomyo, you can use a symbol that resonates with you for closing the gateway. However, there is a catch here, not for this reason that we were sending universal energy, but when sending energy to your past, that's where the catch comes in. First of all, be clear about what you're sending for. You're sending for general healing of past traumas from this life, previous lives, or you are sending for a specific traumatic event. It's good anyways that you choose, but be clear about what you're sending energy for. That's intention. Second of all, the symbols. The same way we did here. Palms. I would use symbols on the chakras, chokure and seiheki on the primary chakras, and use the symbols for opening the gateway towards that maybe particular event, or generally speaking for my past emotional traumas. I would spend a maximum of 15 minutes per session and no more than 3 times per week. Why? Because when it comes to distance healing of past traumas, the past has already happened. It has crystallized, so to speak, at least to some level, to some extent. That energy and information has already been created. Your intention is to heal that energy and information. And the deeper the trauma, the more time it needs to heal. And that makes sense. If you send too much energy and you stay an hour and you do it every day, it does not have time to heal because it has already happened. It has already affected you in one way or another. It needs time to heal. Reiki doesn't function like helping you overnight. I mention this all the time. It needs time to heal. Something that has already crystallized requires time to heal, especially if it affects your physical body, a physical plane. Not only it's in the energetic layers of your body, energetic fields. So it needs more time to heal. If you send too much energy, you kind of, lack of a better word, dislocate that energy from there. It doesn't have time to heal and it becomes present to manifest and to heal in your present life. It needs time to heal, so take your time. 10-15 minutes, no more than 3 times per week, especially if it's a specific event. Regardless, if it's general or specific, I would use this pattern as healing. No more than 3 times per week. 2 times is ideal, 10-15 minutes is enough per session. And that's it for that kind of for this approach, for this kind of, that's the only catch there is for this, for the Reiki distance healing. If you want to send Reiki to those, universal energy to those who passed, it's really up to you how much you want to spend, time you want to spend. If you want to send universal efforts energy to others, just be sure you have their consent. It's pretty common sense, right? I mean, of course, if it's your relative that you know they require healing, of course, it's common sense that you send them universal energy. But if it's someone that you just met, or it's a friend of yours that's they're not really that open towards spirituality or practices, or they don't even know that they would benefit from Reiki, just ask them before, hey, would you like me to send universal energy for this purpose? If they refuse, you don't send. Because consent is important and it's really their path and you have no right to intervene unless they allow you. Again, if it's someone close to you that you know they need healing, relative, family member, spouse, partner, yeah, you should send universal energy. It's pretty common sense. I have a relative in my family who doesn't believe in Reiki at all. Even if when they were sick, they don't want, so I don't send. I offered, they don't want, I don't send. If they would say, yeah, sure, let's try it. Okay, I'll send to you. I'll just try with shorter sessions. See how they feel. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, one every second day, maybe. Just to, try a little bit to tackle with this energy and vibration. So those are the most important elements, and that's how it's done. There's quite a lot more to talk about distance healing. I do talk about distance healing. We practice Reiki together on Blist Premium, and I do have articles regarding Honshaze Shonen. There are free articles on my website in the articles section about Honshaze Shonen and distance healing. And what I didn't mention, I've remembered right now, you can use this distance healing for your home as well if you're away, for cleansing the home, energetically cleansing the home, obviously, so that you can have a nice vibe when you come home, when you come back from your trip or whatever you were going to. You can just visualize it between your palms, activate Chokurei, Seiheki, Honshaze Shonen, Daikomyo, Zonar, Halu, Heart, all the symbols that you have access to, and just send universal energy to your home. Visualize it between your palms, apartment, condo, house, whatever it is. The principle is the same. Really, there's no fixed pattern on how you visualize a home or a person or whatever it is that you want to send universal energy for. This is just your own perception, but the method is the same. The essence and base of the method is the same. And its importance is huge not only for, as I mentioned, enhancing your knowledge as a Reiki practitioner or teacher or beginner, but also understanding the possibilities and the extent of uses that can really, benefit your experience and life and the efficiency of everything you're doing within the Reiki spectrum and therapy sessions in general, or anything related to that. So, thank you for being here. This video is quite long enough. Consider subscribing, giving a thumbs up, and even sharing so that other Reiki enthusiasts can find videos such as this one. And to be honest, it also helps me and my channel and also allows me to offer you better and better content. Blessings to you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.